Hello and welcome to the sixth element. We are racing for the Lamborghini Sesto Elemento. I'm doing this in my new account, my Mario Earnhardt account. So that means I've got a new car with no upgrades. Well, I don't have a new car. I don't own it yet. So we're going to go through this whole event all in one video. There are timestamp links if you want to see what's going on a certain race. Please like, please subscribe, turn on the bell, all that jazz. I appreciate it. You know what I realize here? I haven't raced on this track for years. Like, I don't know what happened to some of these variants. This never appears in a race anymore, this Dubai Oval circuit. I really can't remember the last time I did this race. I know, you know what, maybe it was a couple of years ago. There was something here. I don't know, it's been a really long time, so long that I actually couldn't remember where my braking points were. Like I'm just kind of thinking about, well, what are my usual Dubai points for this corner? But then for the next corner, ooh, that's really nice and sloppy jalopy. Like, you never face this corner in any other circuit of Dubai, and so I couldn't think of what do I do there. So, I mean, it's race number one. That's never going to be a challenge. You know, it's just interesting that this was our introduction to this event. Back then, when this event first came out, long time ago, that's more normal. Now, some of the rules here. You don't want to finish sooner than you have to. Drag things out. This is part of bot slowing and bot management. This would be bot management, not bot slowing. Crossing just with a little bit of time left over. You want the race to be taking about as long as it can take. Sometimes you might even want to delay it. I'm not going to do too much of that because that can be really boring, or if I do it, we'll speed it up a little bit. So we're going to try this one in driver view just to see what that's like, because again, it should be a really easy race. There's some other Lamborghinis here. Sesto Elemento, quite the interesting car. It's kind of a, you know, pretty cool car. I've always liked the Sesto Elemento. It's not the grippiest car. It's like, you know, a lot of Lamborghinis aren't. They're good in a straight line, although the Asterion, I might not be saying that correctly, the Asterion, I think that's how you say it, that's a decent Lamborghini. Like, there are some that have some pretty good grip. It's just a lot of the cheaper ones, cheap Lamborghini, boy, that's an oxymoron. Anyway, a lot of the more, I don't know, affordable, like lower models, how would we say that? They are fast in a straight line. They do not have great grip, a lot of them. But there's some that do, of course. So anyway, this one's a fun car, and I'm not very good in driver view. I don't use it very often, so don't expect anything amazing. But oh, I mean, even there, you don't want to finish with a massive lead like this. You want just double-digit lead, preferably around 20. That's a good lead to have. Now, this is an old school event, which means bot slowing would be possible. It should be possible in all events when you are at or above recommended PR. So remember, this is recommended PR, this event. So that means you don't have to buy upgrades. You buy them if you want to, or if a stage is too difficult for you to do. Now, there's almost always going to be stages where we just can't do it without more upgrades. I'm just switching views here so I can keep my eyes behind me. Whoop! Maybe should have kept them in front of me a little bit more. I'm pretty sure that pit road's all considered on track. It's pretty funny. So I want him to reel him in. I don't want him to overtake me. So I'm just being a little bit cognizant of that, being careful. Especially when you got two of them side by side. You can block one, but you can't necessarily block two. Then I speed through these screens and show you the last screen so you can see the earnings and what my time was. Okay, so obviously someone's been monkeying with the car here. So we've got our acceleration and top speed isn't as good. But, oh, and might have been something else going on. I think this is where the steering's going wonky. But again, I mean, it was really easy the first time around, so I'm not expecting this to be any a challenge at all. This is one track. Never done an endless endurance race here. It's just too short of a track. Like, there is a massive off-track cut you could take, but it's just not worth your while. The track's just too short. Funny that, yeah, it's just been so long since we've seen this one. Same with Brands Hatch, and that's a really fun track. You don't really see that being added in a new series anymore. I don't know why. I don't know if there was some changes with the licensing agreement. I really don't know. But anyway, I do not think this race is going to be difficult. Most likely I will be slowing down on the last lap again because the only requirement is time, and time looked really easy. We'll see if we can recreate some scenes from a famous movie, the Need for Speed movie. We'll see if we can recreate some scenes there. I wonder if that's where some of the inspiration came for this event, like as far as car choices. We'll see. That'd be really interesting if the car choices match a lot of the cars that were in the Need for Speed movie. That'd be pretty cool. We'll have to keep our eyes on that and see what we're looking at here. And that wraps up stage 1, does it not? Yes, there we go. There's the rewards. Let's get on to that stage 2. All right, so here we're still at Dubai. Don't damage the car and don't go off track. Now, this is an old school event, okay? So last few years, when they say no off track, they don't really, they sort of mean it. There's sometimes 2 seconds of off track allowed, even though it says no off track. No, I didn't bother testing it because in these old events, it was like a millisecond off track, you failed. Like there was no grace. Now, obviously, you're going to see this. Obviously, I can get 2 tires off track, but not 4 tires. Old school events, no off track meant no off track. None. Zilch. Nada. Now, with all these slow cars, and you want to keep them slow, I can practice some drifting if I want to, but I don't want to have to redo this race. That's the worst thing when you're doing a really easy race is you get near the end of it, and because you're fooling around, you end up having to do it all over again. That's not a lot of fun. If you are right near the finish line and you think, oh, I'll just finish this race and collect some earnings, even though I'm going to fail the stage, you still want to make sure you don't trophy. Like, definitely don't finish in the top 3. I would actually say finish in 8th place. If you finish higher than that, it's going to start to increase the difficulty of future events. So you've got to be careful with that. It's tempting for me because my currency, I have almost no currency, which I wasn't going to do this event because I don't think I have enough currency, but I thought, you know what? I'll just give it a shot. I'll see how much I earn along the way, and it's possible I'm making a mistake. Like, it's possible. Okay, remember what I was saying about bot slowing? You need to be at or above recommended PR. What's bot slowing? Bot slowing is when you lose a race again and again, and it gets easier and easier, and so you lose it on purpose. I forgot that you can't do donuts in this thing. Anyway, so like at a speed snap or an autocross, that's a great place to sit there and lose the race again and again and again, and watch the speed or the time just fall and fall and fall. And then that makes cup races and other things also easier. So there's still a lot of people who don't know about that. That's a core part of Real Racing 3. That's part of the programming. So as you win more and more, now this is limited to the series that you're in. So let's just say you're in a series that the Sesto Elemento was in. If you lose a speed snap a whole bunch of times, every single race in that series will get easier. Inversely, win it a whole bunch of times, every single race will get more difficult. But nothing outside of that series. So if you're running in the Master Series, it won't be that every single race in the whole Master category gets harder, just races in the particular series you were running. So like a Sesto Elemento series. I can't remember any of them off the top of my head. It's been a really long time since I drove this car. So anyway, so that's one of the core principles of the game. It's designed so that if you're losing a lot, the game's going to get a little bit easier, so that it's easier for you to progress through the game. So it's kind of a neat programming. But then in these types of events where you're trying to earn it without spending very much currency, sometimes they stack the deck against you. Like when they say win with like a 500 meter lead, well, that's definitely going to make things more difficult, because winning with a big lead makes things more difficult going forward. Winning with a small lead also makes things more difficult, but not as much. Now, I stopped at the last section there, and the bots weren't there yet. Oh my goodness, come on. You guys are, let's just black up this track a little bit while I'm waiting. Okay, there they go. Boy, that was a big lead. Okay. Again, you don't want to get stupid and then accidentally lose the race just because you were trying to let them catch up. So don't go too crazy with that. But, you know, look what I'm going to do here. Get them in about the 20s. I'm happy with that. And collecting some gold along the way for achievements. Got all sorts of achievements I can earn. In case you're wondering, I run with all of my assists off. I've done that for many years now. Now, I decided that it's possible I should have been buying upgrades sooner because I don't think this is going to get me at recommended PR. Let's just see here. No, I don't have enough. I'm out of currency. Nuts. A drag race is a great place to lower the bot difficulty. Just lose. Just lose and restart the race and lose and restart. Now, this is a little trick. Pause, resume, pause, resume, pause, resume. When you see a flash of green, you reposition your thumbs, you get a perfect launch. Neat little trick there. Obviously, it's not really needed, but still, it's a neat little trick. And then I let them catch up at the line. Man, that was really close. Sometimes I think it's fun to cross the line in neutral. So I'll be going through the gears. That time I decided, I'll just do it. Like, these guys are so easy. There's no use to do all that light timing because it's just not necessary. Like, look at this. I'm shifting late. Because there's no brakes or gas in these drag races, all you can do is you can control it by controlling your revs. So you notice I was shifting late there, and I was doing that just to let the Asturian catch up a little bit, so I'll probably do that again. Because again, I don't want to win with a big lead, so I mean, I'm cutting this way too close. That's razor close. Oh boy, that's kind of funny, hey? Ooh, Oropod. So I'm already facing difficult bots. Wow, that's surprising. That's one of the top-rated bots, offline bots, that is. That's all we're going to see in this series is offline bots. Let him catch up a little bit. All right, there we go. Not very much earnings for a drag race, of course. Boy, I wish I was at recommended PR. Okay, well, I'm not. This is, if I believe correctly, yes. Elimination race, got to get 10 overtakes. Funny thing about an elimination race, some of them feel like they take a lot longer than others. Every single elimination race, well, traditional elimination race is the same. Doesn't matter if you're driving the very first car you got, like the Ford Focus, one of the first cars, or you're driving a Formula One car. Well, okay, now that's a bad example because we've got some Formula One elimination races that have a 30-second timer. But traditionally, it's 20 seconds. So 20 times 7 is 140. The traditional elimination race in Real Racing 3 is always 140 seconds. I like it when they've done some interesting stuff where you had like a 5-second timer and a huge amount of cars, or 30-second timers. So, you know, just some differences. And a rolling start where it's harder to catch up to the field. So I've got my 10 overtakes. I've got, well, 6 cars left to go, including myself. Okay, 5 cars. So 4 cars left to go. And I kind of wish they weren't side by side because I would let them catch up. One thing I like to do when I have only 1 car left, oops, no, that's not it. Sometimes I like to let the cars catch up and then completely stop and just hold a car. But you only want to do that when there's 1 car, because if there's 2 cars that's still left over, one of them's going to find a way around you. So that's a little more dangerous. Okay, I'm going to play this guy a little bit. Mr. Jackknife. Oh, well, he's a lower bot. That's funny. What's going on with that? Like, I mean, I guess he's not that much lower. What am I saying? So something must have happened. It's very strange. I was facing Oropod, and now it's in Darkness, and now I got these guys. That's odd. Huh. Sometimes old school tricks work, and I was experimenting with a bit of this. Like, I'm not including all of it in the video where I was doing just quitting a race and retrying it, and it didn't seem to be doing anything. But maybe it had an unintended effect. I'm trying to catch this guy. There we go. Caught him. Ooh, he's pushy. He's able to keep me going. I can't just sit there and hold him off. Of course, if you get too aggressive with this, you're just going to end up losing your race. There we go. I can shove him around if I want to. Okay. Now, it should take us to the end of stage 2. So, of course, the first 2 stages are so easy, and that's where people make mistakes, as they blow by everything. McLaren P1. Okay, there was one of those in Need for Speed, so it could be interesting. Need for Speed came out in 2014. This event, I don't remember off the top of my head, I'll guess that it was 2016 that this event came out. I could be wrong, might have been 2015. Definitely, it's a long time ago. And yeah, 2 laps like this? That's interesting. Okay, well, you can take advantage of it and try to learn how this car handles Daytona. Oh, this is motorcycle course, isn't it? Okay, well, that's a little bit different then. This corner's annoying at the motorcycle course. I don't know why they have us racing on the motorcycle course. Last time I looked, I've got 4 tires here. And so I always find it frustrating when I've got to race on the motorcycle course. Part of me is just saying, that's wrong. This is not a motorcycle. Why am I on the motorcycle course? But a lot of it's the same. Like the big chicane here is the same. This is a bus stop style chicane. Those can be kind of fun. Ooh, got to be careful there. So that's interesting. It's not necessarily easy to get this car through there. You know, it's funny in the bus stop, especially with faster cars, there can be horrendous crashes in that bus stop chicane. It's actually really funny. And I don't know why that started happening. Oh, Redline Racer. Sure. Because I only own 2 cars right now. The 2 Nissans from Unleash the Beast. Those are the only 2 I own. And they're not that fast. No, mind you, well, neither one has no upgrades and the other one has 6 of 27. I finished Unleash the Beast. I was trying to spin around again and I don't know, I slipped. Wasting a bit of time here. I finished Unleash the Beast with just 6 of 27 upgrades. I've never seen anyone else finish it with that few. Not that the upgrades are that expensive, but I was trying to make it challenging, and I did. And I'll do the same thing with this one. Try to finish this one with really few upgrades. Sesto drifts around pretty good. Kind of looks good with that matte carbon look. All the carbon fiber, I should say, like the body panels. There's a lot of carbon fiber in this one. I think there's something like 20 of these in existence. I'm pretty sure it was in one of the screens there. Don't know if that's still true. Probably is still true. I doubt they would make more of them after they made a batch of them. And letting this guy catch up a little bit, Mr. Ooh! I should be careful here. This is what I mean, where you start playing around too much, and next thing you know, you're going to lose a race. But, like I said, they take the bus stop really bad. Maybe I should do a nasty pit maneuver on this guy. That's not nice, is it? Well, whatever. Maybe we'll send him up into the wall. I don't want to waste too much time, but... Oh, did he ever nail the brakes? Huh. It's kind of a surprise, isn't it? Now I gotta let him catch up some more, because they don't want to finish that with that big of a lead. Okay, where'd you go? There you go. And, ooh! Pit maneuver done to me! That's hilarious. Well, good job, Mr. P1. If I recall correctly, the Sesto Elemento completely destroyed the P1 in Need for Speed. I mean, the guy driving it in the last race he was supposed to be a jerk. He was the big antagonist of the movie. Now, these average speed races in the early stages can be frustrating because you end up having to finish so far up. So what I might do, take out some guys, do some pit maneuvers, see what I can do with this average speed, because I've got a huge amount of average speed I can build up on the speedway section here. Oh, and we're still motorcycle course, of course. Motorcycle course, of course. We'll see if this bites me in the butt. It shouldn't. I've got that huge section. I just wish these guys weren't so doggone slow. Man, they're slow. Come on, Mork. I'm confused why the bots... Oh, you know what? Okay, a lot of people don't know this. When you buy upgrades, it lowers the difficulty. It's a double whammy. So your car gets faster or grippier or better brakes, but also they're going to drop the bot difficulty. That's what happened is I bought some upgrades. Yeah. Okay. So with this is an old school car. The newer cars, only tier 1 upgrades are $R, but old school cars, you got into tier 2. Once in a while, there was even into tier 3 with $R upgrades. And even some cars that are only R$ upgrades. That's doesn't happen. Hasn't happened for a long time. I think the last car that had only R$ upgrades was NASCAR number 43. Which season was that? Top of my head, I didn't look it up. Gosh, might have been 2017. I think I'm wrong in saying that. Oh well. But yes, it was a car that you could upgrade with only R$. So that's a very rare thing. So a lot of the cars that you can upgrade with just R$ are the ones that were on the game when the game was first released. And even then, there were cars that required gold upgrades when the game very first came out. So anyhow, there we go. Okay, well, I'm going way too fast. They're way too far behind me. So I'm going to turn around here very fast. Let them catch up. I'm keeping moving. There he is. Smash. And hopefully I'm going to be able to build up enough average speed that that wasn't a complete disaster. I think I'll be okay. I think I can. I think you can. I better get going. Ride high, and they're definitely faster in that lower line because they've got less track to cover. Am I going to reach average speed? Come on. Oh, please tell me I didn't just waste my time. Okay, good. Now I can slow down. Okay. I just thought I better check to see if I have to win. I do have to win. There we go. Okay. Because I thought if I'm making a mistake, I could still just quit and retry. Speed Snap event. That should be easy. 231.8. I don't think that's going to be a problem. Like, it's actually possible to get through many days with no upgrades at all. But that can really cause you some trouble later on in the game. And then it becomes irreversible without spending a whole bunch of gold. So hopefully I'm not making a mistake here. I don't really have much of a choice because I could have run, well, the only races I can run pay like 4 digits of R if I'm lucky. So not like I can go, it'd take me a long time to earn it. Probably faster just to watch ads, but that gets really boring. Anyhow. Okay, so now we're getting to a decent race here. I'm 10th. Ooh, I decided, you know what, let's just, I think I have all sorts of time. Let's see if I can take out everyone. What do we have, a bunch of P1s? See if I can wreck everyone. Oh, missed. Come on, hurry up, where'd you go? Pass. I want to do a pit maneuver on you. Pass. There we go, pit maneuver on him. Where's the blue one? I didn't really mess with him much. Well, don't go behind me. Get beside me. I'm trying to do pit maneuver. Can't you see? It's like, yes, come closer so I can smash you. That's not very nice, is it, guys? Oh, well. And meanwhile, the field is taking off. Okay, pit maneuver. Did a pit maneuver on the last guys. Now I got to catch up and see if I can take out the rest of the field. They didn't get that far away from me, did they? I thought with all my horsing around, they'd be like a half lap ahead of me, but they were really just 2 corners away. That's almost funny. Mr. Weaver. You have been a bad boy. I'm going to discipline you. No, I better make sure I'm not wasting too much time here. Mr. Pungent Sauce, or Pungent, I don't know. Pungent. Who came up with some of these names? Like, what kind of name is that? Like, I don't even know. Like, where are you from if your name is Pungent Sauce? I'm pretty sure you didn't come from anywhere. Anyway, it's kind of funny. 4th place. 3 laps to go. Ooh, it's so stressful. Can I do it? Can I win this race? Oh, come on. But, it doesn't hurt to work on some of your braking techniques. I've got a smashed car, so that's not going to really tell us very much. But you never know when you're going to get a really hard race later on in this event at this track. So it doesn't hurt to know a little bit. But usually they don't give us the same track multiple times. Like they will in one stage. So we might be back here, but it might be the road course, which would have the same, almost everything's the same with the road course, except for this next section. Kaboom! So this section here, we would go left if it was the regular road course. You go right when it's the motorcycle course. And it just kind of shortens the track here a little bit. Makes it a little bit different. Mr. Ooh. Well, there's only one guy I really didn't mess with. I guess I could have messed with him. Boy. Surely I would have been removed from this race, right? Yes. But that's okay, Mr. Mork Ring. We've caught up with Mr. Mork Ring. Let's maybe put him up to the wall. That sounds really nasty, doesn't it? And get beside him. Oh, well, I'm pretty smashed up. There we go. Oh, poor guy. That's so sad. Oh, nuts. Nobody near him. And the lead gets bigger and bigger. And oh my gosh, where is everybody? Oh, man. That's very surprising. That's half a kilometer just like that. Or about a third of a mile. Huh. Kind of surprised. I thought someone would have passed him. Okay. So head into the big hairpin here. And hopefully, well, this might be my second last race at the motorcycle course. Definitely a course I don't like very much. But you know what? I should just make sure. I shouldn't complain. I should learn. This corner is a tough corner for me. That was all on track, though, as far as Real Racing 3 rules are concerned. That's a hairpin? Oh, no wonder it feels so strange. I always just thought that was just a left-hand corner, not a complete, 180 hairpin. That's funny that I never really noticed that. Yeah, more of a windy track. Makes sense, it's more of a motorcycle track. Oh well. I'm not going to complain about it. I'm just going to race. Well, I'm going to let these guys catch up. Hurry up, you guys are so slow. It's embarrassing that you're race car drivers. Come on. Get through the bus stop. Oh, come on. Let's go. And yeah, we'll get this race done. Get on. Sometimes I look at the sky, which is why sometimes you see me driving off track, because I'm just checking out some of the other graphics in the game. And I better slam on my... Oh, wait, this I needed a big lead, didn't I? Yeah, that's right. So I still reduced my lead. And there you can see the upgrades I've got for this stage. And there we go. That's the end of stage 3. So let's get on to it. Stage 4, we should start seeing something more interesting now. I would think so. Let's see if I can afford another upgrade. Yep. Okay. So that takes us up a little bit more. Oh, that's interesting. So I can still win with a negative distance. That's funny. Mr. Sylvia. And, well, I'm not going to mess around too much. Oh my goodness, am I ever starting with a huge deficit? That's a little bit scary. Almost 2 kilometers. Wow. Just over a mile. No. Yes, just over a mile. 1.61 is just over 1 mile, and that was like 1.74. Or 1,740, something like that. Blah, blah, blah. So, again, you want to make sure you're learning something, taking in those braking points. Based on how this car... So what I do when I'm in a car that I haven't driven for a while, I start getting a feel for it, and based on that feel, I instantly know about where I should be braking at all the other tracks. Because I know my rough braking points, and so I just adjust. I go, oh, I was braking a little bit earlier on most of my braking points, then you just adjust that to every other track. It's really not that difficult. The big learning curve is learning every track. But you don't learn every track in every car per se. You learn every track, and then you do mild adjustments. Anyhow, so I know here that I wanted to be braking before the banner based on how this car's handling. And that looks like that was a pretty good choice. And should be seeing Sylvia right away here, and we'll get a little bit rough and tough. I definitely have to win. It's always good to check. Like if it says place at least 3rd, only place 3rd. I actually didn't mean to get that rough and tough. Woo, boy, does he ever slide a lot. So I can actually stay behind him and still finish. That's funny. It's funny how it says I'm 4 meters behind him. Like 4 meters. That's like 3.3 times 4, 12, 13 feet. I guess maybe that's right. 13 feet from the front bumper to now. Well, let's see if we can take him into the wall. Ooh! That's pretty violent. Yowza. Okay, that probably would have killed a person, so don't do something like that in real life. That's a little bit obnoxious, but It's just a game. We can get away with stuff in just a game. Ooh, no rear window, no rear taillight. Bumper hanging loose. He is one smashed up Sylvia. But like magic, he's going to be all better in just a few seconds. I love how that works. Zip through this, and there we go. It looks like... I almost thought that looked like Spa in the background. I guess not. Just the way the picture was taken. Okay, so again, this one's an average speed race. I decided, well, I'm just going to go backwards for a bit, so I don't want to sit there and necessarily waste time. I don't try to get a nice clean spin around. Oh, that is not a nice clean spin around. This is on track. Isn't that interesting? They made that on track. That leads you to the old banked speedway. So you can actually see it back there, the banking. Even though we can't drive it, it's pretty good attention to detail. They really try. Like, I don't know, if you sit here and look at stuff, if you look at trees, you're pretty rare you're going to find a copy and pasted tree. So it's things like that that make this game interesting. All these different trees and the clouds and all these sorts of things that are different. There's some of the reasons why there's limits. Like for a mobile game, this is pretty impressive. Still think this is a pretty good game. Anyhow. Okay, so maybe I went backwards too much. I'm not seeing anybody. That's not good. Oh, well, I didn't think I'd catch him this quick. Okay, maybe I'm fine. I haven't hit average speed yet. That's to be expected because I was going the wrong way there. You can't just sit still in an average speed race. Like sometimes I'll give the field a head start because it helps to spread out the traffic a little bit, which can help with this type of an event, especially if an event says don't get damaged. Sometimes it's just easier to sit there and wait before you start, and then it'll be a lot easier to finish the event after you've given them a lot of a start. I'm in 10th place, and I got a lap to go. Oh boy. I might have put myself in a dumb position here. Might have to drive very aggressive. Now, there are off-track cuts a person can take, but, oh, wait a second. That's right. It just ends right there if I've met that average speed. Well, actually, I didn't know it would do that, or I would have done that differently. Weird. I was just kind of remembering that was a little familiar from last time I did this event, which is a long time ago. Okay. Zippity-doo-dah. So, top speed. Want to make sure you don't take this faster than you have to, so pay attention to that. Try to only meet the requirement, and then just don't go over that speed again in the lap. I might hit speed right here. Not quite sure how hard that. I wasn't paying attention to my speeds on the other sections. 7, 6, 6, 5, 4, 3. Ooh. So third place. Now, second and first place are probably right after that. So I might not... I don't want to go too much over. Like, 309 is probably too much. Probably want to be 308 something. Probably can hit it right here. This is actually quite a speed run right here. And the next section after the chicane, you can hit really high speeds, actually. Some of the highest on this track. Oh, yeah. 308. There we go. Might have been even 307. Like, might have been upper 307s was enough. So I'll be careful here because I know I can definitely hit 310 or more based on my experience with other cars. So I'm going to be slowing that down, making sure I don't do that. And we'll see what the requirement really was. Maybe I really went over. Ooh. Parabolica is such a tricky corner. To get that just right, it's not easy to get it really optimal. Okay, there we go. And yeah, mid 307s would have been enough. Oh well. It is funny, you know, the loading screen for every single car is Brands Hatch. I always find that funny. So I'm going to give them a 10-second start, speeding up my timer a little bit here just for your sake, and see what that's like. Yeah, some of these, there's like, you know, multiple things to do. I kind of like that when there's multiple things we have to do. I think this, yes, so no skidding at all on lap 1. And then it's interesting because if you do skid on lap 1, it doesn't instant fail you, but it just lets you finish the race and then it fails you. So that's a lot of fun. It didn't say anything about having to win this race. You have to win this race. So sometimes their descriptions are lacking. Like sometimes they just don't give very good instructions. Anyway, obviously I'm gonna climb through the field very quickly. 10-second start. I don't know, maybe I could have done 20. This is almost ridiculous. 8th place already. I was not expecting that. Yeah. But this way I just don't have to worry about having to suddenly slam on the brakes and then go sliding. So that's a reason why I wanted the traffic spaced out a bit. Watch out for him, because he's going to slam on the brakes at the exit of the chicane, which is so stupid. Knowing you would never do that in your right mind if you know racing. You don't do that. That's one problem. So brake assist, I mean, I learned so much when I got rid of my assists. I spent my first 18 months in this game, totally different setup. Tilt A controls, steering assist high, brake assist low, traction control on, and huge change to go to what I do now. Tilt B and all assists off. It wasn't easy, but fiddling with the steering assist really helped with that. That made that transition a lot easier. I greatly prefer Tilt B controls. It is more work because you're always holding down that accelerator. But the advantage is getting out of slides. It's just way easier to fix a mistake with Tilt B versus Tilt A. And that's a big reason why I made that switch. Also, you get the ability to coast. With Tilt A, it's always full gas or full brakes, no option to coast. And I like that ability. And then, when you get an old school special event like this, where there's going to be races where they've disabled steering assist or they've disabled brake assist or something like that, you don't even notice it because that's just how you always drive. Now, I bet I got those 5 slides in. That's easy. You can do that anytime. Wag your car around a bunch and just get it in there. There's 1, 2, really? That's surprising. Well, let's just go all over the place. Okay. I've already got them in. I'm just being silly now. I can let the freak catch up a little bit because I don't want to, even now, like, definitely don't want to finish with a big lead at any point, especially as you get to the later stages because there's nothing you can do to fix it except buy more upgrades. That's your only option. And sometimes buying more upgrades doesn't seem to do much to bot difficulty. We'll let the freak get beside me here. Not too much. Yeah, see, it doesn't say anything about winning, but I tested that. If you don't win, you don't pass. All right, so that's the end of stage 3. Stage 4. Same loading screen, but this time it actually is Spa. So, I don't know. Maybe the loading screen last time was also Spa. Oh well, here we are. This one should be really easy, especially if you bought the upgrades like I bought, or I suggest you actually buy more $R upgrades early on, and just to make sure that it's not going to get impossible. But look here, this is my first try. We'll just see how this goes. I don't want to get too much over 260. Let off the gas a little bit there. There we go, easy enough. All right, well, let's see what they have for us next. I expect things will start to get difficult. Hopefully not stupid impossible, but we will see soon enough. Okay, this one is stupid frustrating because this car doesn't do donuts. So, yeah, I was going to go and do donuts, try to do the donuts off track there. Watch what happens here. This is very strange, okay? Through Eau Rouge here, watch. I'm going to get my donut in somehow. Watch this right here. Watch how it counts my donut. I don't know why. Isn't that strange? It counted that as a donut. I redid this event, this particular stage, probably 5 or 8 times because I couldn't get my donut in because this car can't do a donut. So something about how, like I know the Speedmaster, I was checking him out, like I was thinking, what am I doing wrong? And he took the car off track to get the donut. That worked for me one time, but then I was horsing around too much with the bots and I wasted my whole lap. I wasted the race. And then I had like 5 attempts where it wouldn't let me get my donut in. And the Vulcans got way too far away from me to catch them. They're actually pretty fast. So if you let those guys get away from you, you're not going to get them back. Unless you do some serious cuts. Oops. Ooh, you don't want to be going off track there at Puan Corner. That's where you just slide forever. Okay. Yeah, so not much to this one. If you get that donut in early like I just did, which freakishly, I don't get that. The first time I did it, I did have to catch them. And I think I did end up taking an off-track cut. Just because those Vulcans got away from me. Must be Spock. Okay, we're going to warp ahead right here. I'm not going to show you 2 full laps of this. It's pretty boring. So, seamless warp, but if you look, you're going to see that it's 2 of 2. Not totally seamless, but that was a pretty seamless warp there. And there we go. So, not much of an issue there. I'll let this guy catch up a little bit. Not too much. Again, I don't want to lose because I already did that once. And it took me a while to get the stupid fake donut in. Again, I don't understand what it is. There he is. Okay. Happy to get that one out of the way. Ridiculous. Interesting. So that's funny. We got this staggered start. 3 laps. Okay, so I'm sure as soon as I pass Mr. Mystery Man here, it'll end the race. You don't want to end the race that early because it's going to say, oh, you did a 3-lap race in 30 seconds. That's not good. So you do want to have this go pretty well the full 3 laps. We're not going to do the full 3 laps because that's going to get really boring. So this is a Veneno. And Venenos, they just feel like an absolute tank. I don't get it. This is one of the most expensive cars to fully upgrade in the game, that Veneno. And it's totally not worth it. Like, it is a waste of your currency to fully upgrade that thing. It just feels like a tank to me. Like, it's fast, don't get me wrong, it's fast. But it just feels heavy. I don't like it very much. It's a cool looking car, don't get me wrong there either. And if I was offered one, of course I would take it. It's a Veneno, man. It's a Lamborghini. Like, give me a break. Of course, it's awesome. So, the secret to hanging out with the Veneno here, brake early. Brake early, accelerate early. It's one of the basic rules of driving fast. Brake early, and see, look at this. And then drive out nicely, brake early. I'm on his bumper. Or I'm on his fiberglass. Not really a bumper. Still call them bumpers, even though bumpers haven't been for bumping for a long time now. So you can see this is not difficult. I could pass them almost any time if I wanted to. Let's do something different. Let's do we'll do 1 lap like this, and then I'm going to throw it into 4 times regular speed. We'll just see how crazy that looks. I went looking through my old footage. And it was really low quality. I only had a few races. Back when this event came out, I wouldn't do a whole series. I would only do the hardest races, and I wasn't doing voiceovers or anything like that. So I decided it might be nice to do this whole thing from scratch. You know, I've been trying to find my first run of doing this event, and I can't find it now. I'm sure I was just looking at the videos a few days ago. I didn't do the whole series like I was saying, but I know I had some videos, and I was trying to see how many upgrades I needed to finish the event. I can't find my videos. That's very frustrating. The search function is not finding them, so, oh well, just gonna have to let that go. Maybe someone else can find my video and let me know, but I can't find them. I don't know what happened. Anyway, I didn't want to delay that any longer. That's almost a 6-minute race, and so that's definitely long enough. Good pay though. Now, this one, you gotta be careful because you've got to have a certain speed as you cross the start-finish line. And I blew it my first time doing this one. I forgot about that. So then I have to do it all over again. And if you, a really good idea in an event like this, do a cloud save after every single race you complete. Because what happened is I won the race but wasn't going fast enough. That's going to increase bot difficulty. I really wish I would have done a cloud save so I could cloud restore back, but I didn't. That's what I used to do, and I'm going to get into that practice again. Even though that can sometimes bite you in the butt as well. Like if you make a mistake by not buying upgrades early enough, you can't fix that. I can't fix that. So that might really hurt me later on. There's nothing I'll be able to do about that. So I'm trying to control things as much as I can now. Okay, so time isn't really a big factor here. Like, this is still possible with no upgrades at all. But again, I think it's actually better. I'm going to start experimenting with the strategy of buying a certain amount of upgrades early on. Especially if it's a well-known event and I can look to see what other people did in the past. Then I'll buy some upgrades earlier and see if I can get in some bot slowing. So that's really handy, because at certain times it will not matter. Sometimes there's a certain race that there's nothing you can do about it. It's going to be brutal, and that's just the way it's going to be. And so you'll just have to buy upgrades. Like if there's a certain speed requirement and your car's too slow, your car's too slow. Sometimes you can lower the speed requirement, but sometimes it's a speed requirement in the description. So like for instance, we've sometimes had a speed record event where first place was, let's just say 320, but in the description it said you've got to hit 345. Well, then it really doesn't matter what. In fact, you could actually make it worse for yourself. By lowering the targets, you're going to end up with a bigger lead. So here I decided, okay, I'm just going to go for it. I let the first place guy catch up. Oof, that's an interesting Moses. So Mr. Gabby there, he's usually the slowest bot. Oh, and there's Dr. Periwinkle. I'm getting into the high ranking bots already, and they're jacked. It's not necessarily a good thing. Okay, we got a loaner car. I do like this car. So it's not good that I've already seen. Dr. Periwinkle is listed as the hardest bot as far as offline bots go. But then what happens is they take the worst bot and increase his stats. He becomes the new fastest bot. And they keep doing that. They start going up the bot list. That's what happens in the old programming. Also happens in old parts of the game, original parts of the game. And then there's also, of course, the offline bots. Oh, totally different names. Interesting mixture of things. Totally different group of names here. Woo! Almost give myself a pit maneuver there. That's smart if I do that. Ooh, the Asterians are faster. Well, of course, my Vulcan's got no upgrades. I'm not going to put any on it either. So I'm just going to have to tough it out. I don't want to put any upgrades on this car right now because I need every penny of R dollars I have to get through this event. Other mistake people make early in the game is they start spending gold because it feels like you get a lot of gold. But at a certain point, gold is all that matters. Gold is the hardest thing to get, and R dollars become a huge abundance after a while. Especially now, like it's amazing to me how much people still complain about this game. They have no idea how much harder it used to be. Okay, so when this event first came out, there was no instant servicing. There was no instant R&D. So when you needed upgrades, you sat there and you watched ads. And you watched piles of ads. Because that's how this worked back then. Same with servicing. When you needed servicing and you want it done quick because you're trying to plow through the event, sometimes you were servicing after every race if it's like a 4 or 5 lap race. Especially because we're not fully upgraded, so you don't get that extra boost of servicing. So that's where the trick of always doing a cloud save helps. I do that all the time. Now I'm doing this again. When I reach these hard races, I start with the full servicing and I've done a cloud save. And so then if it takes me like 5 or 6 or 8 attempts and I've got my servicing in the red, no problem. Do a cloud restore and try it again. And when I finish the race, immediately do another cloud save so that I don't accidentally restore past and undo a race, especially if it was really hard. There's going to be some really hard races because this is old school. So it's going to get really hard. Okay, there we go. I can turn around. Okay, let's see what we have next here. Oh, this is a fun one. Do a lap in the opposite direction before they do a lap in the forward direction. Okay, gotta turn around fast. This is one of those scenarios that if you're used to your steering assist, you're going to be in trouble. When you drive backwards, steering assist doesn't work. So if you're having trouble, you could adjust your steering sensitivity a bit. That might help you. So a low number like 0 or 2 is going to mean very little effect as you tilt your device. Not very much effect. A number like 10 is going to give you maximum effect for the tilting that you're doing. It'll really react. Now, I'm not sure which way to go. Do I go right here? I went left. Ooh, looks like I should have gone right. Okay, well, that's going to be a problem. Oh, well. Let's just see how this works. Let's see if I can, Oh, boy. Yeah, that's going to really drag me out here a little bit. Hopefully they're a lot worse than me. I don't even know where I'm going to meet them. I don't want to have a head-on collision. In the past, I would do that, but I don't want to do that. Woo! That was a little bit close, wasn't it? This is where it helps to know where do the bots drive. I know how bots drive, so I know where I can drive because I know where they're going to drive. So I was pushing the limits there a little bit. I actually was hoping to get close enough that he might hit the brakes, but feels like I'm not that far from the start-finish line. I forget where it is on this track. So the start-finish straight, is it going to be closer to me or closer to the other end of the track? Oh, nuts. I don't remember. Well, oh, nuts. I think it's way back there. Uh-oh. Well, that could be a problem because he's just rounding the corner, isn't he? Ah, that's funny. I got an achievement there. That's funny. I threw it sideways. Okay, well, that one's fun. Get it. Got to win with the lead against the Sesto Elemento. Oh, that's funny. Well, Vulcan's a fun car. I like this car. Aston Martins are kind of... This one's a really nice looking car, too. I've always liked the Aston Martin Vulcan. And I kind of like the Asterians. They're interesting. They're different as far as Lamborghinis are concerned. Now, you could be doing off-track cutting if you wanted to. Whoopsie. Didn't mean to do that. That's quite the tag. Hopefully it didn't break my windshield or I really just lost a bunch of handling. But we're just going to keep plowing along here. And... Ooh, he's staying right there. That was really dicey. It's a good way to get yourself wrecked. Okay, well, 2 laps. I don't think this is difficult. Yeah, I gotta be careful. Ooh, we didn't want to do that, actually. Mr. Sesto, auto this world. It's a strange thing to say. Doesn't sound like a name. Sounds like a command. I don't know, it's strange. And, ooh, that's not good. Now, if you're having trouble, you can do a late braking here and huck yourself into the wall. I'm not going to do it because I'm not in trouble. You can also cut the last chicane drastically. There's a lot of options for a Circuit de Catalunya if you're having trouble. Obviously, I'm right on this bumper, so I'm not really all that worried about it. But right here, I would normally, like, I often cut this. I know it sounds horrible. There, I didn't. I played nice, guys. I should get bonus marks for that. Some people get really bothered when you cut, but it's a game. We should just chill. Mr. Sesto, auto this world. Oh, I am so sorry. You got spun right around. Oh, that's terrible. Although I guess that's my Sesto. Like, all that carbon fiber is going to be pretty busted up. Carbon fiber doesn't like getting smushed very much. Sure is light, and it's strong for certain things. And yeah, there we go. Circuit de Catalunya is an interesting track. It's definitely a challenging track. A lot of unique corners, like this hairpin even. It's a little bit of a sweeping hairpin, a little bit wider. Nice elbow here. I notice I'm having to brake even earlier than I was expecting to. Like there, that's a lot better. Now, this kind of elbow, I want to be better on. That's better. Almost got into the wall. I like to watch the bots sometimes just to see, did I take it better than them? I think I did. Yeah, I definitely did. He caught up a little bit there. Oops. I'm looking behind me too much at the, I'm looking at the bottom of the screen to see what's the distance like here. So I want to reel him in a little bit. Or was this one I had to finish with a certain lead? Yeah, I did, didn't I? Okay. Well, then we're going to do that instead. There we go. A little more than I had to. That's okay. And speed record event. So look at that. So the top speed's 285.1, and it was obviously set differently. I couldn't find a good place on the track to do it. So we're just going the wrong way for a little bit here. Probably could hit speed right here. Woo! Lots of dust flying off my Sesto Elemento. No trouble hitting speed from here. This should be really easy. But want to be careful I don't overhit it too much. There we go. That was nice. I just feathered it. Oh, yeah, that's right. This version of Circuit de Catalunya. Shorter version. So I did that. That's pretty close. That's good enough. Don't need to, like, don't go crazy. I'm getting like two. You don't want to just be 1/10 over. Well, you do, but don't go, quitting the race a whole bunch of times because you're 1 kilometer an hour over or 1 mile per hour over even. It's not that big of a deal. But I'm certainly not going to go over that speed again. And at this point in the race, it's not really possible. I don't think. No, I don't think that would work here. Certainly not here, because I've got to get on the brakes right away. And blast through this. We'll see if I keep it hammered. What speed do I hit? Ooh, that's good. I'm going to be careful. Okay, that was getting close. 20. Yeah, so I was definitely more than I had to be, but that's okay. Win with an average speed. Okay. Again, there are certain things you could be doing off-track cuts. I didn't think it was necessary for this. At a certain point, though, I will do stuff like that if I need to avoid upgrades if I have to. Wow, I hit average speed pretty quickly. Huck it sideways, got to protect that front end. Don't hit your nose into stuff. Okay, so that's why you sometimes see people huck the car really violently sideways. And that's because you can hit people with your side and get away with a lot. You can't get away with very much nose damage. It's going to slow you down right quick. As soon as you crack your windshield, you know you made a mistake. Ooh, I'm going way up out of the groove. Man, that's not good. You're going to have to get that back. Worst case scenario, you slash that last chicane. Usually that corner they don't take very well. Usually this corner they don't take very well. Oh, I didn't take that corner very well. That's not very impressive. But there's still 2 full laps to go. I've got multiple options like this if I wanted to. Didn't really... that's okay. Gets me a little bit closer to the Asterians. You could drive it in a little bit deep here. But really, this is where you can really do some... You can just do this. See? And, do we have the Veneno back? I think we do. Mr. Veneno. Oh, he's speedy. But like I said, that Veneno kind of drives like a tank. It just feels so heavy. He's very sluggish on the corners. So that's where you catch up to Mr. Veneno. Get on those brakes early. Power out of the corners. And you should catch up to Mr. Veneno okay. Worst case scenario... Oh, don't do that. Worst case scenario, we end up doing some chicane cutting. Yeah. I'm really getting sloppy here. Mr. Veneno is kind of disappearing on me. And Lucas is seeing what my bumper looks like. Lucas, I don't like this. Lucas, you're fast. Lucas is not a normal bot name. Now, I always take that elbow better than them. They really don't do well there. And this I do pretty well at usually. I might go eat the wall. Another option is to take this corner very early. Let's eat the wall. Whoa, that wasn't good. That's pretty violent. That was a pretty violent bounce. That's the type of bounce that can do you some damage. All right, well, I might just be cutting the last chicane here. And get a little bit closer, and why waste time? There we go. Okay, Mr. Auto This World. Show your face. Can't really see their face in this race. In this game, it's just going to be some dude with a helmet on. So that's not going to help very much. It'd be funny if, oftentimes it's Magnus. It'd be so funny if they actually had Magnus in the car without a helmet on. So you could really see, hey, that's Magnus. But they don't do that. Well, and they represent safety. So that, there's all the screens about if you want to race, have your car safety tested, wear a helmet, they say stuff like that. Just to make sure they're being good and nice and all that stuff. Auto This World. He's pretty fast, isn't he? He drives like Magnus, so it probably is Magnus. That's who we would expect. Okay, so Asterians, I do not think we're in need for speed. We gotta see some Königsigs at some point. Legendary Königsig scene. And actually, Königsigs are at the beginning and the end of that movie. And there's quite the Mustang in that movie too. So yeah, gotta keep our eyes out. See if there's any Mustangs in this particular event. I don't think there are though. I'm trying to think back to the last time I did this. I don't think we ever see a Mustang. Oh well. Okay. So that'll wrap us up. I'll let Mr. Auto This World catch up a little bit. And kind of like it sometimes if we have a crash right after the start-finish line. As insane as that sounds. That takes care of stage 6. There's the rewards here. Stage 7. Oh yeah, it's a lot more difficult. You'll notice here I added 7 upgrades in total now. I actually have done all speed-related upgrades. And hold on to your hats, guys. I tried really hard to get through this without needing more upgrades. So this is going to get nasty, okay? Really nasty. Like, I'm going to smash this guy. So he smashes the next guy. Then I shove him out of the way and pass everyone. And try to get by these through. Then I need to go off track and nail him without losing traction and without going off track because I need to overtake him again. Yeah, all in one lap. I'm gonna get all this done in one lap. So I should be able to get Oral Pod right here if I'm careful. Can't skid. One skid, you're done. It's old school. Ooh, that's a little bit close. Yeah, old school difficulty here. I love it. I love the old school events. Okay, so now I just need to keep it clean. Got Dr. Periwinkle breathing on my backside. And I'm heavily damaged. Like, my windshield would be completely destroyed. Front end of this car is destroyed. You can see Dr. Periwinkle is gaining on me. And I cannot cut through here because that'll make me skid. So I gotta be very careful. Ooh, that felt a little bit close. Oh, I got 2 of them. But they're not side by side, so I should be able to block. They break a little bit here sometimes. And okay, now I'm gonna have to block. And hopefully 3rd place keeps in line. Yeah, I'm good. All right. That actually took quite a while to sort that out. I was trying to do it without adding upgrades. I spent way too much time on that stage. So there you go. You can see what I spent so far. I'll keep updating you like that along the way. And we have an autocross event. This one, again, there's nothing you can really do about the fixed time. So that's just the way it is. And this one I actually nailed on my first attempt. So like I've been saying a few times, like once you start to learn a car, you start to know where you can slow down. You want to be way at the bottom at the left there at the beginning. I don't know if you noticed that. This does start with a corner, and so you want to be as low to that corner as you can. Braking just when the dotted line starts here, pretty much right then. And I mean that's decent. That's decent. Now this elbow should be full throttle if I get it correctly. I'm not quite sure my braking point after that. So that might be too deep. Oh yeah. Oh yikes, that's too deep. Well, it's razor edge. Woo, that's razor edge. Very close to not making it. And here is where things went wrong for me. I should have bought upgrades earlier so I could have done bot slowing. I got trapped and I actually had to spend gold, guys. I had to buy a gold upgrade. We'll get into that here, but there's just no way. I tried this for, I don't know, a couple of hours, and there was just nothing I could do because you can't get the bots lower. So if you didn't do enough bot slowing earlier in this series, you're going to be trapped like I am. So that's why I wasn't going to put out this video because I felt bad. But you know what? You could learn from this. And there's going to be lots of people that are going to be adding a bunch of gold upgrades. But that's the mistake I made, is that I should have added $R upgrades earlier and got in bot slowing. So you don't always want to be holding out to the last second to upgrade. Sometimes it's better to upgrade earlier so you can do more bot slowing. Okay, that's not off track. You need to utilize that. Now, if I get this done on lap 1, I only have to have like a 100-meter lead. If I get it done on lap 2, I need a 500-meter lead. I failed this once because of the second place bot. So I'm going to smash the second place bot into the wall. I'm going to make him go to the right like this. Then I'm going to get up here in Darkness. I'm going to let him catch up, and I will do the pit maneuver on him, and hopefully the second place bot will not have recovered. So I'm going to do a very nasty pit maneuver here. Send him way up into the wall. There you go. I want him right backwards. Now I can control it if I want to. I'm watching him. Wow, Darkness. Oh, there he is. I got to be careful. I have no idea how much of a speed run he's got. Oh, that's great. I can slow down. Slow down a lot, actually. Okay. There we go, because getting that done at the end of lap 2 is brutal. Look at this, guys. This is how much I've spent in total so far. Now, that's still going to make it a gold positive event if I don't need to buy any more. Alright. So now, this is when the pause resume trick is handy, because these guys could be a lot harder. This is old school. This is kind of a trick here. You can kind of count it out a little bit. There you go. See, it was a flash of green. Huge launch. Oh, the P1s don't shift very good compared to the Sesto, or at least compared to me. So let's go to neutral. Ooh, that was close. Oral pod. I'm gonna do the same thing. Wait till about So I start counting with the lights, and then I start doing pause, resume, pause, resume. But I'm kind of counting, and anyways, it's a bit of a trick there. There's a video. I'll throw a video about this at the end as far as how to get a perfect drag race in. Who do I have here? Dr. Periwinkle. He could be pretty good. So I can't remember the old programming. So I didn't want to risk it too much. And looking for that flash of green. So then I reposition my hands. So I'm ready where the launch button is going to be. I unpause the game and I'm hitting launch almost at the same time. Oh, Doctor, you're not as fast as I thought. Whoa! Oh, yeah, right. That's 4 times regular speed, guys. I speed through that for you guys just to speed up this video. This one's also pretty difficult. Huge field and only a 3-lap race. Very rare do we see a field like this. I decided to give you guys a second view for this race. It's a lot more work to capture that and edit it in, but it's a longer race and I thought you might like it. So again, we're gonna get up to the top right here to get around traffic. Gotta make maximum use of lap 1, where the vehicles they're driving really bad because they can't utilize the whole track. So you got to really get around them and do as much as you can. Notice I threw myself sideways again. Oh, again, you don't want front end damage. So I threw myself sideways a bit just to hit the guy with my side. I love some of those blimp shots. Again, here we're going to make good use of my side, not getting my front end into that guy. Really like to get around the freak here, get the drive off into the corner. There we go, and then blast way over here. You gotta pay attention to the yellow, not the gray. That yellow curb is indicating our off track. So if you go on the other side of the yellow curb, you will slow down. Now, I am gonna blast through this chicane. I'm thinking about passing 2 guys. Let's just see if that's possible. These are 15th place bots. They're gonna be bad. Oh, I'm gonna brake a little bit. Nuts, that's not good. Okay, well, I'm in 10th place with 2 laps to go, gaining nicely on the Raven. Huh. And 8th and 9th are neck and neck. So one of those must be a Vulcan. I think the blue one's a P1. I think the orange one's a Vulcan. So it's funny how the cars, the different performance. Oh yeah, sure. And the P1 dumped the Vulcan in the corner. That's hilarious. And try to get to this side, watch my braking. There we go. 7th, Stay Frosty's another Vulcan. Yeah, the bots get tangled up when you've got different cars. That's why sometimes just trying an event multiple times, a particular stage, if you get a different, like the bot won't drive the same car every time. So right now, Keyed 07's in a P1, but next time he might be in a Vulcan. And so sometimes the field stacks up differently. Where is first place? Okay, that is concerning. I can't see first. Okay, Hoodoo Voodoo, I need to pass you. I wonder if I can pass you in the left or the right. We're going to feel this out the last second here. I think to the right. Oh no, he slowed down more than I thought. Okay, there we go. Oh, there's first place. Oh my goodness. He is a long ways out there. Is that Auto This World guy? Could be. I'm concerned because that's a very big lead. Well, all I can do is what I'm doing. I wish we could choose the blimp shot, but we can't. I love the blimp shot. It's pretty cool. Really gets you. You can really see race lines. It's Rattlesnack. I thought that was going to be Doctor. Okay, well that's encouraging. I should be able to catch Rattlesnack then. Rattlesnack won't be as fast. Again, whatever it takes to win an event, like, yeah, I spent gold. This is definitely possible without gold if you do proper bot management, but I didn't. And so this is what happens. Rookie mistake. I was holding out on those. Well, I couldn't afford them. So, I guess I should have had more R dollars in the bank. Something I actually did do, like, there's no way I could have run this with a new account. There was a sale on R dollars and I took it. So it's just part of being a YouTuber and making videos for you guys. You know, I'll take some of the revenue from the videos and put it into currency to give you guys better videos. So I'll see if I can. I'm going to do that better in the future. I do really enjoy this game, but I'm putting some of the revenue into it, and there we go. So maybe that'll do better next time. Oh boy, I almost had the pit maneuver done on me. Mr. Rattlesnack, you're getting nasty. Yeah, I wish I would have bought the R dollar upgrades earlier, and there's nothing I could do about it because of my cloud saves. I got trapped. But still, it's still pretty good. Again, if I finish like this, I believe this event pays 75 gold in total. Yeah, that's right. So at that point, I'll still be gold positive. That wraps up stage 7. Let's get on to stage 8. Bring this thing to a close. We are at Silverstone, and let's just see. What kind of cars do we have as we drive through the field? There's a Vulcan, there's P1s. Do we start seeing Koenigseggs? Come on, show me a Koenigsegg. There's got to be some Koenigsegg's at a point, because that's just wouldn't make sense if there wasn't. The Sesto Elemento. Vulcans. Huh. We'll see how fast these guys are. If you have to, you can take a massive off-track cut to the left. I'm going to see if I can do it without doing that. That's an option, if it's needed. Ooh, that's bad. Ooh, that's bad. Okay. This is a tricky variant, actually. The Cop's Corner is pretty easy. This is Cop's Corner. You just got to get the race line correct there, and then I can get around this guy. Mr. Vulcan gets nasty. But this is Maggots. And Maggots is a little bit tricky because it feels like a big parabolic-shaped corner. I didn't say parabolica. Parabolic is a shape, not a name. Well, it's a shape and it's a name. But the reason why they call that corner parabolica is because it's a parabolic curve. Okay, so now I'll get in there nicely for my second place. And getting snaky again. Dr. Periwinkle. I'm debating whether I want to take a cut. Certainly not here. Certainly not at Cop's Corner. And certainly not at Maggots. You can't really do a wall ride at Maggots. Actually, I'm doing pretty good. If I just do a decent job at Maggots here. Now, Maggots is a funny corner because same name but different corner in different circuits. Like in the Grand Prix circuit, Maggots is, well, I guess Maggots is the left. Anyhow, I can get inside Dr. Periwinkle here. And nicely there. Oh, a little bit violent, but silent but violent. And there's the doctor having to eat my dust. Oh, I better reel you back in a little bit. Not too much. I'll just scrape the wall. Ooh, I didn't really do much at all. Okay, well, maybe I should have been more careful. Forgive me. Okay, moving along. Piece of cake, what do you think? Yeah. So, nice thing with an event like this is to find somewhere on the track where you can have a definite start point from a stop. So I'm going to try with my front end lined up to the end of this. Let's just see what that's like. Now it's all about my race line, if I get the proper race line through here, which... that wasn't a good race line. That's annoying. I think there's no skidding allowed. So that was close. So I usually would huck it sideways. I can't do that. Alright, let's try this again. I'm going to back it up a little bit. No, I mean go forward a little bit. I'm going to go a car length forward. Right about there. I'll go right there. Okay, let's give that a shot. A little bit better on trajectory. Oh, that's better trajectory. Oh, I could have done that a lot better. Oh well. Easily, I mean, this is possible with less upgrades than I have. I didn't pass by too much. Ooh, boy, that's razor close. Not good for me. Some of these requirements get so strange. Okay, here's another one where it's not clear. I did this once where I was tailgating. I was behind first place by 50 meters, but second and third place were also there. Doesn't matter. You have to be in second place and within 20 meters. If you're in third place, 50 meters. If you're in third place and you're close enough, it looks like it doesn't work. So, and I'm not going to add more upgrades. There's no way I could get there because there's Koenigsegg's now. So, forget it. Turn left. Turn left after the bridge. You'll see what I mean. If you've never done this before, turn left. And if you have tilt A controls on, well, good luck. Tilt B gives you better control in a situation like this, you know, lift and gain traction. I need to make sure I'm in second place, so I'm going to really control this. Oh, 2 Koenigseggs bumper to bumper. Lovely. I need to get him just on my outside and then get over here really quickly and slam the door on Koenigsegg number 2. Okay. Now, come on. Well, I'll just pit maneuver you. Oh, so sorry. Hey, we're recreating a bit of an event here, although that was... No, in Need for Speed, it was a Koenigsegg pitting a Koenigsegg. But a Sesto Elemento was fighting a red Koenigsegg at the end of the movie, so that's all good. It works out, right? Okay, so what do we have here? I'm guessing it's the Koenigsegg. Oh boy, I really did that one interesting. So what's this guy behind me driving anyways? Oh, that's a Vulcan. Oh, interesting. I thought that was going to be one of the Koenigseggs. I wasn't expecting Mr. Mueller to be in a Vulcan. Huh. Koenigseggs must have gotten tangled up with each other. Well, those ones I don't think have... Oh, I didn't get a good enough look at those. Are they 1-to-1s? Could be 1-to-1s. Those are amazing. There's no excuse for that. But if it's the older Koenigseggs, their brakes weren't great. So that would make sense. Yeah. Okay. Well, reel him in a little bit. And slow down a little bit. Not too much. There we go. Getting down to the wire. Now, it used to be, in a lot of events, the hardest race is often the second last or third last race. Sometimes it's actually in the stage before the last stage. But in some of these old events, even the last race could be very difficult. Now, this is interesting. There's a speed requirement and a time limit. However, there's a lot of time to deal with here. So even with my upgrades, there's nowhere I can hit speed legally. So here's what we're going to do. Ooh! Well, you don't want to eat that wall. Obviously, this is possible with less upgrades. You're going to drive straight off track here and then get off the throttle and try to just nicely hit the wall head on. Watch. See, there's no skidding allowed in this event. I didn't skid. And I still have 25 seconds on the clock. That's way more than enough. And now I just need to be careful. Take this corner nicely. And I should be, I'm sure I must have 5 seconds to spare, maybe more. Let's see what I have to spare here. 7, oh yeah. See, lots of time. So lots of time to do that strategy for you. I had more than enough speed. Average speed requirement. I like average speed races. Don't know why. Oh boy, we're getting more Koenigsegg's, aren't we? Koenigsegg right back here. Oh, I didn't take a look. It's got to be one of those C something. Yeah, I think that's an older Koenigsegg. McLaren P1 comes up to take my lane a little bit. Another Koenigsegg. Koenigsegg's here, Koenigsegg's there, Koenigsegg's everywhere. It is, woo, there's a lot of Koenigseggs out here, which becomes a problem in sections. Again, I'm protecting my front end. Use my back end to slide out there. And watch out for those Koenigseggs. Look at them go. I thought he'd hit the brakes. He doesn't. I'm not going to throw the pit maneuver now because I don't want to take out my windshield. Oh, these guys are horrible. Take all 3. Come on, come on. There we go. That was a good move on my part. That was a nice pass. The 3 of them were getting stacked up high, and I was able to get down low, obviously. I guess if you were watching, you just saw that too. Really got to take advantage of Cop's corner here. And Now we see the other version where we have maggots that leads into Beckett's complex and Chapel Curve. So again, this is maggots again. Then this is Beckett's complex, this section here, kind of this in the S's. And then we have Chapel Curve at the exit. Now you got to really take advantage of that. Then we head to Stowe. And with Stowe, you want to make sure you're braking early enough. If you don't, it's really bad. Like, this is bad because I didn't brake early enough. And then I think this is Vale. Anyways, this last chicane, you can always make some moves on the bots. They do that very bad. Look at that. Horrible. Horrible job. Oh, got caught up with him. Nuts. Come on, you. Don't you get all nasty on me. Okay, well, obviously I'm going to do an inside pass here. Blast through this. Blast through this. Get another inside overtake here. Mr. Koenigsegg, big smash. 5th place. Oh, nuts. Thought I was doing better than that. Koenigsegg and a McLaren in front of me. Am I correct? I believe so. Got to be careful. In this corner, I'm pretty good at this corner. It's the next corner I can struggle with. But let's see if I can get inside here. Ooh, come on, get inside, get him. There we go, nice. I used him as a wall. So that enables me to drive out really nicely because I used him as a wall. And Cop's Corner, I should get some nice gains on Mr. McLaren here. Ooh, I got a little bit loose. Salvage it. Now I got to be careful hitting into maggots because I'm not sure how he's going to handle this. So he's got. Oh, I was not expecting that. He's got a weird name, so I don't know how he drives. I know that sounds funny. I'm not upset about his name. I'm not saying that there's anything wrong with his name. If that's your name, I don't mean that. What I mean is he's not a typical bot. So the name threw me off. Like, I know how Darkness drives. I know how Dr. Periwinkle drives. I know how Rattlesnack and Oropog drive. I don't know how these bots drive. R. Rogers, I don't know. I don't know how R. Rogers drives. I'm guessing all of these are going to be very hard bots. M is in 2nd place? That's surprising. Okay, we got to make some serious gains. You want to have a very light braking point here and blast through this. Try to set this up nicely. Ooh, a little bit too much. And let's see what I got here. Koenigsegg and a McLaren. Okay. Very nice there. Blast through this. I have a feeling that I'm going to need, it's either going to be like Maggots, Beckett's complex, that area. That's usually where I make some really good gains. They never take that very well. This, I'm not setting this up very good, so I'm going to really have a bad. Let's see here, I don't want to skid. Oh, good. That's actually, I'm okay with that. I'm okay with that. I kind of held my own with those guys. They take that section really well. I don't, but I'm happy with that. Cop's Corner. Nice. I didn't lose traction that time. You can see my gains. And here's where we really see stuff. Oh, look at them. They got all tangled up. McLaren, I want to get on. Oh, wow. Here we go. Here we go. What are you doing, buddy? Mr. B. Mueller. Oh, Koenigsegg. Ooh, wow. You can tell M is a cranked up bot. Bye-bye, M. Oh, and the McLaren's back. Well, that was all sorts of nasty. And is that a Vulcan getting in on it? Couldn't quite see. It's some good old fun, ain't it? Well, I'm not going to have to worry about slowing down very much for these guys. I don't even know if I have to at this point. Got to be careful, though. You never know. You can get a completely disastrous last race. All right, one more race to go. Shouldn't be too difficult unless overtake him 5 times, don't take on damage, and don't go off track. Well, that could be interesting. And, well, he's got a bit of a lead start. He's not right in front of me. And now they reveal that it's Magnus. Of course it's Magnus. Well, this is kind of fun. I mean, you know, this has to be a bit of a throwback to Need for Speed. It's a red Koenigsegg. I mean, come on, can we get any more obvious? Well, maybe it's a little more of a maroon Koenigsegg. The one in Need for Speed is more red than this, but come on. We've got a red Koenigsegg, and we've got a Sesto Elemento. Like, this is pretty cool. So I'm gonna get nasty, just like they did in Need for Speed. I kind of like that they allowed that. So I'm gonna use him as a wall again. Because getting in, like you can do all sorts of pit maneuvers here if you wanted to. Just got to be careful that he doesn't get away from you. Now, that Koenigsegg has pretty good grip, so Sometimes it's hard to give a pit maneuver to a car that has great grip. Oh, nuts, I missed my chance. But watch what happens. Maggots. Beckett's complex. I'll drive it in here. Drive it in right here. Perfect, nice. Okay, one more is all I need. So let's set up a pit maneuver maybe. Oh, what's going on with Magnus? What, you get a flat tire? He's way back there. I'm not expecting that. Stow. Oh, okay, let's let him get past me and stow. Because the last chicane, I should be able to get him. What are you doing? I was not expecting him to come wag way in front of me like that. Okay, and now I get a victory lap. Well, I should, a pre-victory lap? Is that what we call this? I guess so. I need to make sure I don't make any big mistakes. Oh, like that's a big mistake. That's a pretty big mistake, actually. Looks like he made a bigger mistake. Well, that's surprising. But you can see he's pretty good. Gaining on me pretty fast, actually. Oh, my drive out's way better. Way better. That is surprising. I don't think I damaged him. Huh. If you smash a bot, they do drive slower. Like, you got to smash the front end. And, oh, that section is horrible for me. I'm really surprised at Magnus. I expected more aggressive driving. Oh, look at him gain as we head into cops. A little bit loose. I bet you, though, through Beckett's complex area there, I'm going to really lose him. Just see what happens here. And that was, oh, look at that. Oh, I'm all sorts of loose, but pretty big gains. Am I getting a 100-meter gain? Oh, yes, I got a 100-meter gain. He's going to start to close that gap as we head into Stowe here. But my braking point is much... Oh, actually, that's horrible. He closed half of it up right there. Okay, this is looking good, though. Looks like I'm done. And I got my Sesto Elemento, and I'm gold positive. So, I mean, even if you're gold neutral, that's a really big thing. So this is going to wrap it up. We'll get to those final numbers. Please like, please subscribe. Thank you so much for joining me. Here you can see my total upgrade path and just over 1.6 million R dollars, over 40 gold exactly I spent. But you get back 200,000 R dollars and 75 gold. So I'm gold positive, happy with that. Check out some of the videos, drag race video, and I'll huck a few other things up here. And hope you get your Lamborghini Sesto Elemento. Bye-bye now.